Alright, hey there Prox Gaming crew, and this is Proxify here, and we are back for some more of the Final Fantasy X Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we went and explored around within the Thunder Plains, and we also got to go and see those Cactuar statues here. But I do highly suggest that you don't really want to go and activate every single one, because just for one Cactuar is that it does have that 1000 pin needle damage, which it will, I think, at least somewhat hit your party members for a one-shot, which that is somewhat relatively crazy. So you don't really want to be trying to spawn out at least like 4 different Cactuars and then having that same type of ability show up and literally start like destroying out everybody on your team, which that would not be fun. But however, if you do want to at least have one Cactuar get spawned, that is totally fine, because I want to say the experience for the actual Cactuars are somewhat relatively decent, so that would be pretty nice for that. And I think also too, I think there's some pretty nice good type of power spheres and other things which I believe you can go and pick up from them as well too. So they are somewhat of a good type of battler to go and face off with, but I don't really want to suggest that you go and face off every single one of them within the different statues. But either way, within our way out here for today is that we're just going to be getting out of the Thunder Plains here, but there is a little bit of some other things that I kind of want to do within the Thunder Plains before we start reaching off our way on out of here. Now, speaking about with Rin, he will give us now another Albed Primer, but you want to make sure that you go and talk to Riku first before you go and do anything with that there, because I believe you can't just go and just immediately meet up with Rin out of nowhere, because I believe you have to go and talk to Riku first. Now, there is a special little mini game thing around over here for what's going to be going on within the Thunder Plains, and I believe is that if you want to do some lightning dodges, I believe you can get all the way up to, I think it's like 120 or somewhere around there roughly, of like different amount of reward dodges that you can go and do for all these different lightning strikes. Now, I want to say that I think the recommended one that you really want to go and try to grab around is at least around like 50 or so amount of different lightning strikes. Now, it does take a really long time, but there is a easy type of method where I believe you can at least somewhat get it into the way of the 50 different lightning dodges. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't really go and do it all the way through. I can only make it all the way up to around like 10 lightning dodges because I am super rusty with how this is going to work. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have, I think, an episode type of way to show you exactly how it's done, but I'll kind of give you a way of like how it, for how it happens. But basically, there should be like an area somewhere where there's like a small little crater and and one of those type of electricity type of sphere, or like one of those electricity columns or something, not spheres, but those columns there. And I want to say that every time you have to go and just run back and forth between them. Now, you will get like attacked with different like enemies and whatnot, but there is an item later where you can get yourself like helped without having any type of enemies go out of their way attack you. But I'll probably come back here later and try to get the 50 different lightning dodges out here. But if you keep on running back and forth between those two things, there is like a lightning strike that will happen somewhere around within the crater. And if you can time it out right properly, that will be your best method, because then you can at least try to get that 50 lightning strike. And you just keep on repeating that over and over again. Now, I just had to go and find that out, and that was like somewhat of a research for me to go and find out what that was all about. But I believe it's also a method also for the PS4, so you can go and use that as well too. So I don't think nothing has ever gotten changed around within there. Seymour? But I think within the Thunder Plains, there's nothing really too much of new enemies per se, except that there's actually just one new enemy that will be showing up, and that is going to be with the Iron Giant. Now, we've already seen the Iron Giants before. These guys were like somewhat of a past enemy back in Final Fantasy IX. Normally, these enemies would actually be somewhat of the last type of enemies that you actually go and face off during the way of, I want to say, a Memoria, right? Normally, you would only get to see them just around within that type of area. Uh-oh. So now Titus is going to get punished because you let us spy on Yuna. Alright. Jeez. But, I think within these 2 videos for today, not only are we going to just be doing our time out here with just only with Final Fantasy X, but we're also, of course, going to have to go and do some more with Yokai Watch 3. Now, I did go and remind you back in the Yokai Watch 3 of these 2 videos for today is that for tomorrow's video, you guys should be able to go and see that we will be bringing back the Pokemon Dreadlock with me and my friend Christopher Dragcrow. It's going to be a very exciting time. I know it's been a really long while since you guys haven't got to see a Dreadlock for a little while. But if you guys don't know what the Dreadlock is all about, I'll just kind of give you guys a brief summary of how that Nuzlocke is all about within the Pokemon Black and White game. But basically, originally of how the rules was supposed to be working is that any type of gym leader or rival that we go and try to face around within this area, normally we will have to like switch around with the way of how the Nuzlocke gets changed. But I think there has been a little bit of some rule changes around later throughout there. So I think it's just only, I want to say just the gym leader. I think the Nuzlocks are going to change except for the rival, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, if you battle out with a gym leader or something of that type of nature, you will actually switch around with the Nuzlocke. So if I'm doing like a Wonderlock or if I'm doing like a Wedlock or something, that Wedlock will actually go and get changed into, let's say, like just a regular normal randomizer Nuzlocke or something. Or if it's going into like a freebie type of way, or if it's going into like a hardcore lock or something, like all those type of things are going to make the journey even more ridiculous than it actually has to be. But it's been really fun so far, and I believe we're still going at it. I don't think we haven't really lost any Pokemon yet for that nature, but hopefully guys will go and check it on. I want to say, what's it, episode 10 I think we're going to be on now, so pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys do see here, there is a treasure chest right here located at the inn now. So basically, if you get yourself hit by one type of lightning strike, you'll be able to go and search that there is going to be a treasure chest that will help you out gain another treasure. But every single time now, this treasure chest is going to give you different how many amounts of times that you actually survive through a lightning strike. And so far, we only got 2 of the rewards, but later on, you will get other rewards such as like magic spheres and HP spheres and whatnot, and those are going to be like the prime essential ones that you want to get. So I'll have to go and come back to this later once I go and have an item, so that I can be able to at least get myself well protected from the enemies that are going to get spawned around out here. And then once that happens, I think we'll be able to come right back, and then hopefully within the Thunder Plains we can at least try to get all of those special mini games out of the way for that. I can only do 2, but at least I'm happy with that so far. So yeah, if you see right there, there's another third Cactar statue. Not going to really go and encounter out with that, but here is the Iron Giant. Now, I think what's it, thunder damage actually does do quite a bit on this guy. I can't really remember if that is or not, or if fire damage does anything, but we're going to go and do some power breaks out here. And I'm going to try to make sure that most of all of our characters are going to be able to at least get some bit of some things here. Get at least enough of the experience that we do need, and so that everybody can all have their spear grids get all more amplified up here. Now I know that during off recording I already went and amplified up most of my guys so far with some more of the spear gridding stuff. Unfortunately, no brand new moves, unfortunately, so there hasn't really been anything too crazy. I know that we went and updated both with Kamari and Lulu a little bit of a while back, and that was just because that I had to go and make sure that we get all the black magic spells for Kamari and make sure that we have all the upgraded black magic spells for Lulu there. But nothing really else was too much of a sort that was going on from those last couple of episodes. But yeah, so once we're done here in everything of the Thunder Plains, we are going to have to go and start moving off to the Macalania Woods, or as I should basically go out and call it, the Macarena Woods. So we're going to have to see what's going to go on from there. Now, I want to say that there is another Albed Primer, but this one's actually a little bit of a hard one to go and search for from what I have been gathered. But apparently the Albed Primer is somewhat located around where a walk is going to be at, but there's like a very small little pathway somewhere where you actually have to like try to walk around with, and then there should be an Albed Primer waiting for you right in that type of location. Now, once we do get an airship, though, I did go and specify that if there is an airship coming up at some point, I wouldn't mind actually going back to the Mushroom Rock Road, because I believe that is one of the locations that you can actually go and return back to. I want to make sure that during the way of Mushroom Rock Road, I get myself with the last 2 other Albed Primers, because I want to make sure that if we're gonna get some special rewards out of these different letters, because I know from what we have been seeing within our past ways is that we've already got to see that there is some specialty type of stuff that's getting showed up around within those alphabet letters, and if we could go and decode them, then we can be able to get those rewards.
Somehow, my bad feelings always come true.
Seems like this lightning is just never gonna stop, right? Well, it is called the Thunder Place for a reason, right? Kind of goes back into my one previous series, if you guys recall from the last time, is that we went and played through Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs and having to go to Mount Thunder, which I believe that was a place that I believe was an area that we actually had to go, or the Thunder Plains or something. Well, no, it's not the Thunder Plains. I think it's known as Mount Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. But having to go and head over to that area and having to like fly around with well, I think with Latios just to reach all the way over down to that area. That was tricky as heck, and that lightning never gave up. It never let up at all.
I must speak to Maester Seymour
That was a fun series, though. If you guys haven't wanted to check that with Pokemon Ranger Guardian Size, I would have played that on my 3DS capture card. That was the very first experience with the 3DS capture card, and got to go and play through that game and actually complete the whole entire game and do the actual special events that were never really accessible anymore on the DS, but I was able to go and do it there.
Then it is fine.
Wait a minute, Orin. You don't care? I mean,
well, it seems like Yuna already kind of made up her mind, didn't she?
No, I'm not.
I know that at the very beginning, like from our time of when we met up with Maester Seymour, you know, I know that Yuna was kind of like freaking out a little bit, going like, well, I don't know, I haven't really made up my decision yet if I want to marry up with Seymour, but now it seems like right here, right now, it looks like that's what's going to be happening. And I guess Titus is a little bit frustrated in the situation.
Yuna, just one question. Can't you just talk to Maester Seymour? You got to marry him?
Don't know. But I think it is the right thing to do.
If that's what your decision is there, Yuna. But I think, well, for me personally, I don't know, but I just wanted to say is that I want to say that Maester Seymour is a little bit of a shady guy. What? You know, this dude literally tried to, like, do some shady business that Waka didn't like at the Operation Meehan type of thing, and I know that that was something that was,
it's okay.
Which that wasn't really all that too good.
She says I'm sorry. He says it's fine. She's willing to face sin. She's privileged. I didn't understand. But somehow, I felt like I didn't belong. But if I didn't belong with them, I'd be stuck in Spira, alone.
That would be true.
And being alone in that place, well, I didn't want to.
Yeah, because at least we have some friends that were all here.
Next, we're going to Macalania.
So that's our next location, is the Macalania Temple.
There.
Another Aeon location, so hopefully that's going to be somewhat pretty cool. Hopefully Bahamut will be there. I always keep on thinking that Bahamut will probably at least show up. He will have to show up at some point, right? That's like a Final Fantasy staple summon anyways. Because you know what? If Bahamut was there at Final Fantasy 9, I'm pretty sure he'll be here at Final Fantasy 10. That's the only one summon that I'm actually somewhat excited for. Well, Ifrit was actually not all that too bad. I was actually excited for Ifrit too. I'll be happy with Ifrit. But I'm more excited for Bahamut if it's something that will show up. Alright, well here we are, the Macalania Woods. I really do like this place because I kind of like how it's like all crystallized and all, and like more like a foresty type area.
You're worried about Yuna.
Is there ever like any other type of JRPG games that actually have like somewhat of like a crystallized woods in a game?
The simplest answer would be,
I guess you could probably call maybe what's it, the black, yeah, what's it known as, the Black Mage Village or something?
I wonder.
I know that that could probably be something like that because that was like somewhat like almost like crystallized forest in a way, somewhat.
She's strong, but Seymour is the better negotiator.
Well then, why don't we do something about it?
Yuna wants it this way.
I just don't get it. Doesn't she trust us?
On the contrary. She doesn't want us caught up in whatever it is she's planning.
Well, because we'll probably be like,
yeah, that's what I
like
thought.
probably, well, I don't know what the word is. Like, well, we don't really want to be like caught up in her type of mess, right? I think that's what I was trying to get the phrase out.
She's naive.
Because, like, it's her problem, but not ours. And if we try to stick our heads into it, we'll become another issue.
You're probably right.
Yuna's easy to read.
Yeah, she is.
But there's a save point up there, which that is pretty handy. That's exactly what we do need to do.
Always.
Make sure that we go save. Alright, well anyways, I think we are getting ourselves almost closer to the end of this episode. I think we just got ourselves, just this little segment right here, and I think we're all set and ready to go from.
Slowpokes!
Well, it seems like Riku's finally all better from after the lightning strikes that's been going on.
Maybe it was because
now, the one thing that I didn't really get to go and mention from before is that if you guys remember back in the Thunder Plains, like just right before I was going to be doing some lightning dodges, just right outside of that inn from the Elbed Inn, you can actually pick up it on a special yellow shield. Now, this yellow shield is completely different compared to the original one that we would have picked up back over at the actual Guadalajara area. This one is, I want to say, that actually protects you from immunity damage from actually getting hit by the actual attacks of the lightning, which that's actually somewhat pretty nice, and I do recommend on picking that up before you go and start doing anything else. But anyways, here we are, brand new area. I'm gonna go ahead off the episode for today. See you guys in the next one for Final Fantasy X, and also go and make sure to check out the Dreadlock for tomorrow's video, because that's gonna be pretty exciting as well. So see you guys then, and of course, peace.